welcome to BWTM Sports Gaming. I want to talk about this particular fight, Danny Garcia against Lara. Happened over the weekend on the undercard of Canelo Belanga. Shout out to Edgar Belanga before, because he has been on BWTM Sports. I remember that was the evening I did a classic where I went to Evander Holyfield's promotional outfit and we did interviews with Evander Holyfield. Let me just shut this off a second, sorry. We did interviews with the real deal Evander Holyfield, Edgar Belanga. There was a host of fighters that Evander Holyfield was promoted with Real Deal Promotions, and Belanga was one of the guys I spoke to. They did another interview with him afterwards. A real nice dude, Belanga, lots of personality. I didn't think his chin would hold up against Canelo at all. It did. And he showed that he was a level above what he'd been fighting previously. So congratulations to him. I know he took a bit of a, I wouldn't say a pace, but a good going over by Canelo, but he'd come again, and I think that Belanga will definitely be a better fighter for it. Coming back to the Danny Garcia fight, I'm big supporter of Danny Garcia. I knew that when Khan was going to fight, hi Barry, when Khan was going to fight Garcia, I knew that Khan was going to get knocked out by Garcia, and I knew that if that left hook, that same left hook that landed on Eric Morales, if that lands in Khan's chin, he's gone. I remember doing the preview, and I remember that his dad, Angel Garcia, was calling Khan out with a flying carpet, and Khan was mad. He was talking about, I'm going to knock Garcia out. And I remember the sparring Khan had done leading up to that, and he was getting wobbled badly in sparring, and he didn't look great under Freddie Roach. And I said, you know what, this boy is going to get absolutely, Khan's going to get absolutely smashed. And like, oh no, Khan will win his speed. You talk about Amir Khan, his speed, his fast hands. And you're like, really? So fast hands and speed are going to win you a fight, even if you're reckless. I'm like, you need to have an element of boxing IQ. Yeah, people forget that speed alone isn't enough. Timing, IQ, when to throw punches, when not to throw punches, when to engage, when not to engage. So, anyway, I was saddened to see Danny Garcia. I know he was up at middleweight. Hadn't boxed for, a year of it, maybe 2 years, I don't know. The last time he boxed was against, he boxed against, I can't remember the guy he fought. Yeah, Benavidez. Last time I saw him fight was against Benavidez. And I know that some of these PBC fighters, I think they've got some sort of contract. And I think that their contract is that they can't fight on any other card but a PBC card. So it prevents them from fighting elsewhere. I think it's something like that. Some sort. I don't quote me on that. But obviously it prevents them to fight anywhere else and under any other promotion. So, yeah. So these guys haven't fought for a while. And of course, they need to make money, so they want to be in big fights. And of course, if you're in big fights, you move up to middleweight. And sometimes these fighters, when they get older, they move up to they move up to weight divisions, not because they can't make the other weight division, but because they're not going to put as much dedication into training. So I think if I'm bigger, I'll move up. I'm going to be bigger. But the guys who are at the middleweight are coming down from sometimes light, heavy, cruiser. You'd be surprised. I remember when I was in America, and I was training in America, and I was training in Roy Jones's gym, and I remember them saying, right, so I was walking around about 160, and they wanted me boxing at lightweight. So imagine, so 135, and I'm walking around at 160, 168. They want me down at 135. Just think about that a second. Yeah. So that's what it is. So I love Danny Garcia, his fights with Thurman and Porter and that big puncher. I can't remember his name again, the big puncher that everyone was scared of. who actually, I don't know if you remember that dude. He popped a pill before he fought. Remember he popped that pill live before he went to fight. I mean, that was blatantly. I don't know what he popped in his mouth. To this day, I still don't know what he popped in his mouth. But that guy was I can't remember his name again. Big puncher, Lucas Matisse, and he was a bad boy, Lucas Matisse. And yeah, he was a bad boy in terms of punching. And I really feared for Danny in that fight, but Danny showed boxing skill. And the first time I really kind of clicked about Danny Garcia's boxing ability actually was when I spoke to Terence Crawford for the first time, because Crawford and Danny Garcia had history in the amateurs, so that's how I was able to track Danny Garcia. So I was really happy to see Danny Garcia, grab the belts, become champion, move up. I think a sad fight was when I saw him fight Errol Spence. Spence had come back and he just seemed, I don't know, he just didn't seem as sharp. Spence did a good job on him, but didn't seem as sharp, Danny Garcia. And I know he's had a lot of things outside the ring, like property management. He's got his own business. He's got a beautiful wife. He's got a beautiful family. Well, it seemed a beautiful family. I know he had challenges, a lot of mental health challenges. He talked about it as well. And yeah, he did talk about it a bit. So the 2 years he's been out, or a year and a half, however long it was, it obviously didn't help him come back at middleweight. And he fought Lara. Lara's one of the most dangerous middleweights in the world. I mean, and from that, I think him fighting Lara, he just didn't seem, from round one, he didn't seem the racist. He seemed uncomfortable. He was uncomfortable when he fought Errol Spence. He didn't really get into a fight with Errol Spence until the last 30 seconds. So he had the problems with Spence, and he had more problems with Lara. And of course, Lara's at middleweight, he's punching harder. So the punches that Spence was hitting with, and then the punch Lara was hitting with, the accuracy of Lara, that's another thing altogether. He just wasn't in the fight. And just the way he got hit with that. This is a guy that took Thurman's best punches, Porter's best punches, Matisse's best punches, and he ate them up. He ate them punches up, and he never even budged. Never budged. He just walked through them shots. And then to see him just get hit with a left hand by Lara and just sort of just slump. It was like his whole will was broken. His whole spirit was broken. It was like, what? And I just felt sorry. This is a guy who's had a rock solid chin, super solid chin. I mean, he's took bombs off of Thurman. I mean, like I used to say to Keith, you're throwing punches like a fast bowler. One of these days, you're gonna get seriously injured with them shoulders yours, because you can't keep throwing punches like that. Well, guess what happened to Keith? You can't throw them big shots no more. Injury. You look at him now. He's nowhere the puncher he once was. I don't think he'll ever be that puncher again. Regardless how much time he has off. If there was injuries to the shoulder, not good. Hi, ST. It's good to see you. Shook one, good to see you as well. So it was just sad to see. I've watched it about 7 times now. That clip, Garcia just going down, and then just getting up, going back to the corner, and his dad just saying, no more. It was sad. It was just sad to see. I was really upset, because it's like, that's not really the way to go out. That's not really the way to go out in boxing, and to see him go down like that, it was just sad to see. I just seeing like a hero just got. I mean, if you'd given his all and it was a back and forth fight and you got clipped and you got knocked up, okay, fine. But how can I be upset for a millionaire? Listen, are we talking boxing? Are we talking money? He got that money for giving us entertaining fights. So he's a fighter first. He didn't walk into boxing a millionaire. I don't think he did. So I can't look at it that way, my friend. And yes, I can be upset because he's entertained me. I've connected with him as a fighter. That's kind of the problem today we have. We have little regard for the entertainer. the fighter because they've made money. They've done well for themselves. Yeah, well done. There's so many fighters out there. There's so many fighters out there that are broke, don't have money, having to come back and force. Remember when Brilliant Bow came back and he didn't have money? Holyfield fought on longer than he should have done. Roy Jones fought on longer than he should have done. And these are great fighters and gave us great memories. So I'm sorry, I can't agree with you on that. The money, what they make outside the ring, good. They should make more money in the ring, because every time they get in the ring, they can be rendered unconscious and never get out of that position again. They could get rendered unconscious and never wake up. They get rendered unconscious and never be able to do the things they would like to their children, their grandchildren. So any fighter, and being a former fighter myself, I am thankful and grateful that more fighters than not are able to get out of the ring and have their money. And I'm happy for Danny Garcia that he can get out of the ring with his faculties intact and have money as well. But coming back to my point about Garcia, and this is, and we don't share enough emotion with fighters that have contributed over the years. So for me, personally, I think, again, it's just the fact that he was in my eyes, Danny Garcia was a legend in his own right, There's former people on the planet to have regard for Danny Garcia who are far worse off than him. That's my humble opinion. Yeah, but that's not the point. I'm talking about Danny Garcia and paying a tribute to Danny Garcia. This is the Danny Garcia tribute, and that's the title of this, the Danny Garcia tribute, not the everybody who's boxing and is making money or don't make money. That's not the story. It's Danny Garcia and a tribute to Danny Garcia. So as I'm continuing saying, Danny Garcia, yes, he is a success story in boxing, because ultimately every fighter. I remember Keith telling me at one point in time, he was saying to me, I love what you have. I love the way your life, your personal life is, because he was able to see what was going on in my own life. He says, one day I'm going to have what you have, brother. And one of the conversations we had back in the day. And so I always remember that money's not everything, but it certainly does make a difference. And I think that seeing Danny Garcia, having property, investing in property, however myself, you've got all this money, why have you come back? Why did you come back? You didn't need to come back. But the fact you've come back, I'm glad you've come back. I'm selfish because I love Danny Garcia as a fighter. But to see him go out like that, I'd rather not see him box again, to be honest, than to see that. I hope he gets a send-off fight. I really would like to see Danny Garcia get a send-off fight. A fight where he can box and, because it's just a sad way. And then seeing Angel Garcia, some people say, yeah, karma, whatever you want to call it. But Angel Garcia has given us some exciting nights and exciting fights. And I know he was trying to be great 3-weight, but I don't know if he was a solid middleweight or a light middleweight that couldn't be bothered to put the work in, because that was what was pushed at one point about Billy Joe Saunders. He was a middleweight, couldn't be bothered to do the weight, and moved up and it became a super middleweight. It wasn't because he couldn't make middleweight. A lot of these guys, I can't make middleweight, can't be bothered to put the extra work in, can't be bothered to, not even be bothered, the strain of your body having to, extra pounds. It's a challenge. I understand it and I get it. But, could he have made a fight at light middleweight with one of the other champions? I don't know. We saw how Crawford fought the other night against a guy that was challenged for him. So 154, I think he could have done better at 154. I don't know if that 160 and against Lara was the best fight to make, but maybe it was the best money fight to make. So yeah, I'm sorry to see what happened to Danny. I really am. Slewer, my guy, long time Slewer here. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you in the house. Back in England, back in London, Slewer. Hope that you're well, my brother. So I guess I'm gutted for Danny Garcia. I really am. There's other fighters I'm gutted for as well, but Danny Garcia I'm gutted for because, I don't know what the mental health challenges he had, But when you look at from an outsider looking in, beautiful wife, beautiful family, house, seems to have it get all going on. But to still have those mental health challenges. So I don't know, why did you come back? You wanted to be a 3-time world champion. Did you want to be a 3-time world champion? I mean, you certainly didn't look like a guy that the fire was gone. There was no, and of course, Lara neutralised him, and it was a southpaw, and he knew he was going to fight a southpaw from the start. So I'm not quite sure if they really thought they were going to beat Lara, because like there's Errol Spence, and then there's Lara. You struggle at Lara with Spence at 147, yeah? And you've moved up to 160 to face a guy that's just as much a nightmare or more of a nightmare. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's up with Danny. I know he just had some mental health challenges. I don't know what those challenges are. I just, see, money. Yeah, what was his motivation? What was his what was his motivation? I don't know. Danny Garcia is the type of guy I would love to get an interview with, sit down, just talk with him. He just seems a dude that, and I've never been wrong about dudes, to be honest. He seems a dude that, you could sit down and have a real motivation. Money, yeah, yes, of course money comes into it, but there's got to be other, greed. I don't know if greed is it against Lara. I don't know, bro. You know what when you're fighting Lara, you know what you're up against. I don't think he's that ignorant and arrogant. I'm trying to get, I know that's what's outside said, but I don't know. Sometimes mental health challenges are, one of the things can be, you know what, I just want to get back in the ring again and fight again. I'll tell the world I want to be 3-time world champion. If I don't make it, tough, I don't make it, but I've got back in the ring and I fought, and I've overcome a challenge, and that in itself is overcoming a mental health challenge. You just don't know what his challenges were. Well, we on the outside were here. Well, yeah, 3-time, wants to be a world champion. That's admirable. But really, against Lara, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. Did he look in the best condition? Not really. Mentally, coming to the ring, he didn't look right. So even Sean Paul was saying it. He didn't look right coming to the ring. He didn't have the same zest, the same pop, the same Danny Garcia trying to do something. Even if you look at the Spence fight, we ended the Spence fight, got close to Spence, he let a combination go. You're like, why the hell didn't you do that in the beginning of the fight? He didn't see that at all. Didn't see anything. So I'm just gutted. So that's my thoughts on Danny Garcia. And there's going to be a few other fighters when that happens too. I'm going to be like, dang. Like seeing Holyfield get beat up by Victor Beltor. That was sad as well. It's like, really? No, Holyfield. Mike's round the corner and he's going to be fighting Jake Paul. I hope Mike can just give us one more night. I know 58 we're asking for a bit much, but if one more night, listen, if Hamza Shiraz gets hit with that left hand as well, he'll go down the same way. If he hits with that left hand, he'll go down the same way. Lara is elite. He's elite, and as far as I'm concerned, he beat Canelo. Lara is elite, man. Lara's not no joke. Lara's serious, man. Lion Mike, yeah. Lara's not a joke, man. Lara's serious business. He's what Bruno would say is a serious hombre. Don't let that Cuban nice fancy style boxing fool you. The guy can crack. He can fight. The fight I wanted to see was Jamal Charlo against Lara. I always want to see that fight. 50-year-old Mike can still look explosive for 2 rounds max. After that, he'll be in some trouble. Yeah. So Mike's got to hit him. Mike's got to hit him and hit him early and catch him. And that's the fascinating thing. Can Mike land something on Jake Paul? Yeah, he fought Canelo, and as far as I'm concerned, he outboxed and he beat up Canelo. But it's near, So yeah, I'm sad. I might try and chase an interview with Danny Garcia because I love that boy too much. Lara was great talent, a man who almost drowned 3 times, escaping Cuba to defect guts and glory story. Great to hear it. Great to hear it about Lara. Got to give the man credit. Look at what he did in the amateurs to the pros. He had a remarkable career during the red hot phase of the welterweight division. Absolutely, shook. Definitely. It's like Holyfield trying to go for the fifth time and unify glorious story, but you got to know when to leave it alone. Like Uncle Bashir used to say, you got to know when to hold them or when to fold them. He really wasn't that great. Danny Garcia, come on, man. Come on, man. I'm sorry. He went up against the best. He wasn't up against the best, and with the ability he had, he went up against it. His fight against Lucas Matisse. Listen, nobody wanted to fight Lucas Matisse. Matisse was a bad man. He was stopping everyone. So I don't know how you could say he wasn't great. Matisse was stopping everybody, and that's why we're very blinded to the history. He went up against Matisse. He went against Sean Porter. In fact, he went Sean Porter. I think it was Sean Porter and Keith Thurman back to back, something like that. Khan, Eric Morales. Well, Morales was still decent. So he fought some good fighters, some really good fighters, probably some more than that. So I think he was a very good fighter. He may not be elite, like elite, but he did win. I think was he undisputed or was he unified? I can't remember. But to me, he was one of the best boxer punchers we had around. Good fighter, Danny Garcia. I remember when he fought Brandon Rios. That was a good fight as well. Stretching with a left hook. Beautiful. Who else? Left hook, right hand. Let's see what else there. Love, bro. Slew. I hope you're all good, my brother. Let's see here. Bridgerton had potential, but he wasn't dedicated long enough to hone his raw talent. It will always be a great what-if story. Yes. Could he beat Lara in a rematch? No, he can't beat Lara. He just wasn't. Look, Garcia wasn't good against southpaws. Straight up. Let's see. It was Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, Lamont Peterson, Robert Guerrero, Adrian Broner, Sean Porter, Errol Spence, Terence Crawford. It was a great crop of fighters. Real great crop of fighters. Yes, move on. There were so many fighters. Met my children. I grew up watching DSG. Was one of them. Yeah, absolutely. He was. The inactivity in age just took this toll on this warrior. Same thing that will happen to Ali, Tyson, Holyfield. Really sad when it's sad when it happens. It is. He's not that old, Garcia. Doesn't matter about a person's bank balance. We should show empathy for someone for being them, not what they earn. Absolutely, ST. That is what it's about. Absolutely. Not obsessed about money. I think Angel pulled him out the corner because he knew what was coming. He knew Danny he knows his son. He watched his son and going, and when that knocked down, he's like, no more, son. I'm not letting you see it. And I'm glad his dad pulled him out the corner because Danny Garcia would have got knocked out, and I would not like to have seen that. DSG chipped Thurman's elbow and he dislocated his shoulder with his punches. DSG was one hell. Yeah, he was a great puncher. Where's Keith part-time? I call him once upon a time Thurman. Yes, big up to you, ST. DSG is not the same. When I saw him crumble like that, I thought he's not the same guy. And Angel Garcia, as trainer and father, did the right thing. He did absolutely the right thing. It's taken Lara all this time to get out of his amateur style and the way he is, and he's now in his own, in his pro style. Great fighter who is really coming to his own. Absolutely. DSG had a number of layoffs, and for a counter puncher fighter with time, he needs to stay active. Absolutely. So those the contract, whatever the contract was, I'm sure he signed, may have stopped him from fighting as regular as maybe he wanted to. I remember DSG on camera in the dressing room after the Matisse fight, and he was weeping while holding the belt. Felt so proud that he showed his courage in such a dangerous fight. Yeah, I remember that. That's one of the things that really, that's the fight for me, because Garcia was against Matisse, and Matisse, as I said, was a bad man. It wasn't a rumored bad man. He was a real bad man, because like when I say Mike Tyson was the baddest man on the planet, that was promotional. Because up to this day, who did he beat to be the baddest man on the planet promotionally? He didn't beat anyone. Who did Tyson beat to say he was the baddest man? Trevor Berbick? Michael Spinks? So Mike Tyson was crowned baddest man on the planet but he never beat the baddest man on the planet. He got beat by guys, but so whereas Danny Garcia, he fought the baddest man, which was Lucas Matisse at the time. Nobody wanted anything of Lucas Matisse. Nobody was calling out Matisse, and I think Danny had to fight that fight against Matisse. So great fight. Let's see what people say. Let's talk about Danny Garcia. Don't want to talk about anyone else but Danny Garcia. It was Lara, Regendow, Ortiz. Every time they escaped, they were captured, tortured, and then they try again. Stubborn and courageous. If anyone has the time, look at Danny Swift Garcia's amateur fights. Amazing stuff. Yeah. Come on, man. I don't know why Garcia thought that was a good idea. Lara beat Canelo and was robbed. I think he only got one other loss. Lara's probably one of the best Cuban fighters to date. I know. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't add up why he would just go and fight that fight. Either one of two reasons. Reason number one, I go with a mental health thing. That, you know what, I'm just going to try and get myself in shape and get back in the ring. That's one. Or two, we could go down the other route and say, you know what, he's just chasing money. And yeah, but why would you want to chase money against a guy that is just so good to get beat up like that? I mean, nah. GSG was unified 140 pound and champion at 147 with the coveted WBC belt. Yeah, so he was a good fighter. Batista was a bad man on this is his run. I remember the life and death fight he put on John Molina, cut Molina on the back of his ear and the scalp. In round 11, Molina's body just gave out. Amazing. Yeah, Matisse was a bad man. He was a bad man. And Garcia fought the bad man. Both unbeaten. And at times he stood in the pocket of Matisse. That was a great fight. Garcia shot a granite chin, showed good work. Did you get your PS5? No, bro, not yet. Next week. Got to watch the videos, bro. Don't ask me silly questions. Watch the videos and you answer your own questions. Watch the video. That's what the videos are there for. Watch the videos and you find out. Did I get my PS5? Can you? And I'm talking about Danny Garcia and you're off topic. Anything but Danny Garcia. Stay on topic, bro. So yeah, it's disrespectful. To Danny Garcia, was he the best in the world? I guess when he beat Khan was not. I think Khan was ring number one. He was Ring Magazine number one when he won the belts. When he had the belts, he beat Zab Judah. I think he got robbed by Lamont Brewster. I think he got robbed by Lamont Brewster. I can't remember that Lamont Brewster fight. Lamont Brewster. Was it not Lamont Brewster? Lamont Brewster's a heavyweight. Lamont Peterson. Look, and Lamont Peterson's a damn good fighter as well. I don't know where Lamont Peterson got to. He was a damn good fighter, Lamont Peterson. He had some skills on him. But then I think he fought Errol Spence and got sorted out. Lucas Matisse cleaned him out. But he was a good fighter, Lamont Peterson. DSG took the unified belt from Khan after his loss to Peterson. Yeah. But Khan was number one. I mean, Khan at one point was Ring Magazine number one. I remember he got all those belts and he fought Zab Judah to unify, I think. So I think Khan was number one. Both Peterson brothers were good. Yeah, they are. So I remember Khan beating Judah. He beat Judah. And then he went on, after the Judah fight, he went and fought Garcia. Yeah. So, a lot of respect. Again, respect your fighters and Garcia. That's what I want to say about Danny Garcia. Anything else came to mind? Canelo. I have to do a separate video. Canelo. Not Lamont Brewster, no. In the Khan fight, Peterson was over him like octopus. It wasn't the PDs that beat Khan. It was the levels. Yeah. I would agree with you on that one. He fought Vlad. Yeah, not Lamont. I corrected myself. Be on point, bro. I said Lamont Peterson. Lamont Brewster and then Lamont Peterson. Lamont Brewster fought at heavyweight. Yeah, I think that's about it, really. Yeah, I think I'll leave it right there. I want to come back and talk about Canelo just for a moment. Yeah. Right. Back in a moment. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Take care.